Mike Jones with the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Gary, do you think that your guys got enough of a taste at being the favorite last year so that they will react favorably to being the hunted this season?
Well, I think that's always a concern. I think responsibly that's what I have to do. I kind of filter that down to our seniors. As I look at that, I look at our seniors, and from a leadership standpoint, they kind of help me, kind of watchdog of our team. And really the thing that we look at is we look at habits, not look at habits, daily habits. When our kids are in school, are the academic habits the right way? The attitude habits the same? The locker room habits? The weight room work ethic, the practice field habits? And every day throughout the entire summer when our team has been working out with Pat Ivey and our strength and conditioning staff and with the seniors, are they doing all the right things every day? You deal with some red flags, you deal with them. But right now I think we're doing the right things, and hopefully the experience of last year playing at a higher level, playing a lot of pressure situations, hopefully we can, we can play at a high level again.
We have a question on the far back right side.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoma. Gary, you guys sort of emerged on the national scene last year. But can you talk about the blue-collar work that went in over a 4, 5, 6 year period to get to that stage?
Well, I think we worked real hard. I think if you look at our entire program, we came stay focused on what we needed to do. People ask me about that, and I think that the continuity of our staff has been important. I think one of the great things about our players when they came in is that we didn't change a lot of things. We changed certain things we do on offense or defense, but they came in. There were certain ways we lifted weights, or certain ways we did our off-season programs. Our academic support system is done a certain way, the discipline's done in a way, and we just stuck to that and really got our players to get ownership. Where it wasn't Gary Pinkel's program, it's our program, and that started happening about 3 years ago. We certainly haven't arrived. We won the Big 12 North last year. The University of Missouri's never won the Big 12 championship yet, so we made progress. But certainly, I'm very proud of the players in our program. Certainly, the seniors a year ago, it really helped change. Look at the numbers they've had, and then actually the seniors coming in that they have the potential to do. They've done an awful lot for Mizzou football and the University of Missouri, and I'm very proud of that.
Got a question about halfway back on the right side.
Gary, Tim Griffin from ESPN.com. Obviously, Tony Temple was very important for you guys last year. I wonder if you could talk about trying to fill his role, and can we maybe expect to see a rotation of backs do what he did for you guys last year?
Well, Tony, obviously a very good career at Mizzou, and the second best performance in the history of bowl games in the Cotton Bowl. So Kansas City native here. We got Derek Washington, who's also from Kansas City here, and he really did well a year ago as a freshman. He played. I think he's an outstanding talent, a little bit different than what Tony is as far as style. Jimmy Jackson just has been here. It'll be his 5th year here at the University of Missouri, and he's done outstanding things. Devin Moore is a player from St. Louis that nobody knows about yet. And then we've got Drew Temple coming in also. So we're going to have a challenge there. We always play a lot of running backs, as most people who follow us know. And that's going to be important. I think it's probably going to start more so as the offensive line. We lost 2 starters in the offensive line from a year ago. And we also lost 2 backups. So we lost 4 of our top 10 players. So you just see two starters leaving. They were both. Tyler Rowan was a real good player who tackled for us, and Adam Speak was offensive line of the year. We lost 2 talented players, but when you lose 4 of your top 10, we've got some holes to fill there. Do I feel comfortable that we're going to be okay? Yeah, but I think it's going to be kind of like our defense was a year ago. Our offensive line, as we look at them, are going to have to be a lot better in October and a lot better in November than they were at the beginning. And that hand in hand, I think, will help. Will certainly help our game.
Got a question on the left front row.
Brian Burwell from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Gary, how much has your offense evolved over the years because you've had different style quarterbacks, you've had different style running backs, receivers, tight ends? How different is it now than maybe even a year ago?
Well, I think it's really evolved. Brad Smith could do some different things. And Chase Daniel and Chase could do some different things with Brad. So those are the two quarterbacks. I think that always starts there. I think the beauty of the spread offense is you kind of go the direction you want to go. I think when we had Brad, we were just, as a staff, we were much, we had very little experience with the offense. I think what's happened is we've developed our offense and our version of the spread. There's a lot of different versions. I think we really expanded it, and I think you generally expanded on based on personnel. And you know, for example, Jeremy Macklin, that is so good with the football in his hands. You know, we hand the football to my running back, you know, 7, 8, 9 times a game. 2 years ago, we never did that at all. So I think personnel dictates that. It's also an offense, I think, that's very creative in terms of there's a lot of things you can do with it, and but you still build them on personnel and you still build them on you know, Chase distributing the ball to other people.
Wait, hold on. Let's get on the microphone, please.
Do you try, as you're recruiting, do you try to plug in similar players, or you just go after the best players and make the offense adjust to the people you bring in?
Well, I think you know, from a consistency standpoint, you like to stay with the trend that you're doing the way you're doing it, because the players are doing it year in, year out. But I think at first adjust to the quarterback. You know, running back wise, I think you could expand on that depending on kind of the kind of running back that you have. You have to decide if you want to do that. But I think we try to recruit players into our system as we know it right here. But I think you also adjust, and if you adjust depending on if you've got a player that really can help and be a tremendous asset in a different way, a little bit outside of the norm, and they can adjust accordingly.
Got a question on the left side, on the right side, sorry, right there.
Gary Ivan, Mizzou, ESPN.com. Piggybacking off what Brian asked you, did you go to the up-tempo to take advantage of personnel? If not, what was it about quickening the tempo of the offense that appealed to you?
Well, how that whole thing came down is originally I just felt like we needed an edge. Okay, and we talked about the offense, and we needed an edge. And I looked at Mike Leach, you know, Mike's been up here yet, but you know, I looked at what Mike is doing in Texas Tech, and a version, certainly a version of his spread offense, and going bowl after bowl after bowl. And also what I did is I contacted a lot of defensive coordinators around the country that I really respect, and asked them what offense they dislike playing the most, what absolutely drives me crazy. And the spread offense came up, and so that's when we made a decision to go that route. I think when you look at our spread offense and go in that direction, we're the kind of spread offense where, you know, we want to create, you know, we want to be able to run the football also and create great running lanes. We want to be an offensive football team that you know, dictates a little bit what the defense does, as the Cotton Bowl did. When we decided to go to this offense, we went to you know, Urban Meyer, Greg Brandon, who's at Greg Brandon's head coach of Bowling Green. We went and we met with them and got their version of it. I mean, A to Z, and that's what we leaned on. And then about a month after we were working on it in January, Dave Christian, offensive coordinator, came in my office. He said, "Coach, I want to talk to you about huddling." And I just kind of, I was reading something, I kind of put my glasses and took them off. So what do you want to talk about? I said, "Well, we don't want to huddle anymore." I said, "What?" And he said, we don't want to huddle anymore." And I said, you know, that took me back a little bit. I mean, you know, can you imagine never huddling? If I called Coach James back at Washington and told I never huddled, I don't know what he'd do to me. But what I did is we examined the pluses and minuses of it, and I think it's been a tremendous asset because the no huddle provides you with the creative tempo of the game. It provides you the opportunity to check at the line of scrimmage, have the staff do that in the press box. There's a lot of things that no huddle gives you, and I think that really has been a huge plus of what we do in our spread offense. I think if we huddle all the time, we would not be nearly as productive as an offensive football team as we of it.